Welcome to Hishosha Talk. Today I'd like to talk on photosynthesis. It is the base for food chain on the earth. The title of my talk is Carbon Dioxide is a Good Friend. You may say it's too much, but it's really so. So let me first start with the slide I used in the last talk. It's doomsday scenario. The emission of CO2 causes global warming and which lead to extremely unusual weather and finally doomsday. So people are saying CO2 is the enemy to mankind. Is it really true that CO2 is the culprit to destroy civilization? My answer is no, because plants and animals on the earth cannot survive without CO2. Do you know photosynthesis? Plants produce nutritious carbohydrate from inorganic CO2 and H2O with the help of solar energy. So this photosynthesis is the base for food chains on the earth. And it's very important to notice nutritious carbohydrate CH2O is produced through this reaction. Well, usually nutrition CH2O is the unit of carbohydrate, and usually n units form carbohydrate. Like in the case of n equals 6, grape sugar is produced through photosynthetic reaction. In breathing, we inhale oxygen and exhale CO2 to get energy to live. And we use carbohydrate CH2O. And when we inhale O2, oxidation reaction takes place and CO2 and H2O and energy is produced because this is exothermic reaction. And please remember, carbohydrates are the main source of energy for the human body. CO2 is our friend because it's the base for food chain. As I told you, plants can produce nutrition CH2O carbohydrate through photosynthesis. And we use CO2 and H2O produce organic CH2O. And plants are called autotroph or primary producer. And only plants can produce nutritious carbohydrate through photosynthetic reaction. So here, without CO2, plants cannot produce carbohydrate. And habitable animals that only eat plants and to get nutritious carbohydrate to live. And the carnivores or predators, the animals that eat meat, eat herbivores to get nutrition. So without CO2, animals cannot survive. It's also applied to the food chain in the ocean. The base is photosynthesis. But we need CO2 Well, H2O is always there, and light. And we know that CO2 will dissolve in seawater, and sunlight can reach 200 meters in depth. So photosynthesis is taking place in the ocean. And eutrophes, a seaweed, algae, or phytoplankton. And these eutrophes produce CH2O through photosynthesis. And abalone or sea urchin fish eat seaweeds, and zooplankton eat phytoplanktons. And fish eat planktons, and animals and big fish eat fish. This is a food chain in the ocean. This table shows the temperature dependence of the solubility of gases in water. It's interesting to look at high solubility of CO2 in water. It's much higher than other like nitrogen, oxygen, or argon. It's also interesting to notice the fact that the amount of CO2 in seawater is 50 times larger than that in the atmosphere. Nobody has ever clarified the reason why the solubility of CO2 is so high in water. But thanks to rich CO2 content in seawaters, food chain in the ocean is possible. CO2 is a friend. Well, you know, CO2 enrichment is commonly employed in the greenhouse to enhance the crop yields because the growth rate of the plants is greatly enhanced by increasing CO2 content in the house. Do you know Jurassic period, which is 150 million years ago? The average temperature of the Jurassic period was 10 degrees C higher than the present. The concentration of CO2 was 2000 ppm, which 5 times higher than the present value of 400 ppm. Photosynthesis was promoted with such a rich CO2 content. The huge plants like a fern, ginkgo, grew thick thanks to rich CO2 content in the atmosphere. Dinosaurs, herbivores, could grow big by eating huge plants, and cannibal dinosaurs or predators could grow big by eating herbivores in those days. So plants and animals on the earth cannot survive without CO2. So is CO2 a friend or a foe? My answer is CO2 is a friend. Thank you for your attention.